now, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. As the topic suggests, I'm going to speak about using online platforms to bridge the learning gaps. Learning gaps, something to be addressed before we know how to bridge them. Learning gaps, is a part of learning. Everyone comes across it. Maybe like a child, when you learned how to add, you must have had few gaps about how to add two-digit numbers, or if you are adding two-digit numbers, then you must have had doubts about how do you carry over something, or how do you rearrange the digits while adding. Similarly, during subtraction, you might have had doubts that how do we subtract a bigger digit from a smaller one. Such things are called learning gaps, that you basically know few things about the subject, but the rest of the things are not very clear to you. And this is something that follows us throughout our adult lives. So during this COVID period, when we were all locked down in our houses, it was a very tough time for every one of us. But in that time, it also gave us an opportunity to bridge our learning gaps. Many people rose to the challenge. They learned to learn new things, as well as they started creating platform where others could come and learn. They could learn new skills, enhance their skills, or bridge their learning gaps. So these online platforms are not just for children or college students or even the working professionals. These platforms help out everyone who is interested in helping themselves or helping others. Now, first, let's go through the name of few apps that you might be aware of. If you are an adult and you are using any online platform to learn something, then there must be apps like EdApp, LMS, Google Classroom, Udemy classes, VizIQ, edX, LinkedIn Learning, and many more educational platforms. If you have visited any of these, you would find that there are several classrooms available there. You can use the platform to learn something. There are professional teachers over there who can help you learn. There are also recorded, there are live sessions, there are recorded sessions that you can look into. There are new things you can learn. You can develop new skills. If you have not completed any part of your education, you can go there and complete your incomplete education. You can take a refresher course for the things that you have probably forgotten, or you can go and enhance your skills. Like if you are an office worker and you're not very proficient at MS Excel, then you can use these platforms to get acquainted with Excel. You can use this platform to start learning. You can learn the formulas, how to apply it, and most common formula that we use these days is VLOOKUP. I think everyone who uses Excel these days needs to learn how to put these formulas into use. How we put a formula on one sheet and then move on to another sheet to apply it on the document or apply it on the Excel sheet that we are using right now. So there are classrooms, especially LinkedIn Learning and EdApp LMS. These are places where adults learn about new skills, or even they learn about enhancing their skills. Now, if we are talking about bridging the learning gaps, so far I have told you how to use these platforms to learn or enhance your skills. But how do we bridge learning gaps using these online platforms? Well, for those who already have covered the topic once, they're aware of the topic, but only have few learning gaps due to which they cannot use the concept easily, for which they have a little trouble, or maybe they might struggle. They might need to ask someone's help during their classrooms, during their office work. For them, it is easy to use this platform. In fact, these days, several people learn from YouTube as well. You can go to the platform, select the particular topic where you are struggling, you just choose it. You can have the option of either just going through the recorded video session, or you can have the option of having a direct session with a tutor or a expert in the area. Like myself, I'm a maths expert. I bridge the learning gaps of other students. My target group is actually student, but I know several people who are English experts, some are personality development experts, and these people are aware about your situation. They're aware that there are more than enough people. In fact, there are more people than you can imagine who are struggling or who are facing from the same issues that you are facing. You're not alone in the struggle. And so there are people who are aware of this and they are ready to help you out. You can reach out to them and take their support. As the digital world is growing, online community is also growing. There are people from every walk of life, from every other reason, from every small or big place. You might be sitting somewhere. You do not need to travel anywhere else to learn something. You simply have to have access to internet in your home. You can learn through your cell phones. You can learn through your computer. You just have to have access to computer and know how to use these computers. And if you are not aware how to use it, if you are not technically proficient, if you think you are technically challenged, well, online world is open to you. The first step you can take towards learning these things is you can go and learn how to access your own computer, how you can make files there, how you can learn there, how you can keep your updated notes there, and then you can go and focus on the particular skill that you're wanting to enhance, the particular learning gap that you want to bridge. Google Classroom is a very beautiful platform that helps students and teachers in interacting with each other. And students and teachers is probably limits our imagination to thinking that a school teacher is sitting and there are school students that appear before her or him. But Google Classroom is a platform. In fact, using the word teacher and student might not be very suitable. More suitable and politically correct word could be learner instead of student. As we are all eternal learner, we keep learning from the moment we take birth or the moment we are born, and we keep learning until our death. So this platform is a very good place for students, in fact, for learners and their teachers or their experts to interact. Experts are simply people who know almost everything about one particular topic, and they're there to help you out. They can clear out your misconceptions. They can help you out into understanding something. They can help you in reaching further. These platforms make us believe that despite however many summers we have seen, it is never late to continue learning. Learning new things is quite easier in comparison to bridging our learning gaps. There are many of us who have taken courses in past about which we are not sure that we know all the things that we were supposed to learn. This is a problem that affects more than just one aspect of our life. I know that if there are some aspects, in fact, if once again taking you back to an Excel sheet, if you're an office goer and you have to maintain Excel sheet regularly and you do not know quite about setting the formula, you have to every time ask someone else to set some formulas on you so that you can use it. Or if you have a very large sum, if you are an HR in a company, you have to deploy everyone's you have to release everyone's salary, but or you have or you are in the team that procures objects or things for your office, But every time to make those calculations about what to use, how much to use, how much money you have to keep in spare, or how do you create a budget. If you're using a calculator every time, that means you are not aware that you have to use the formulas on an Excel sheet. If you have to take someone else's help, that please set these formulas on the Excel sheet for me so that I can create this Excel, or I can create this list for myself. If you are facing such challenges, you are not alone in those challenges. There's a large group of people who is facing similar challenges, and they're all overcoming it with their regular practice. These courses are not very long and not very expensive. Online education has provided us with something that was not available before. The courses has become very cheap. They are very affordable for everyone today. The pandemic outbreak in 2020 brought a lot of changes, and this is one of those changes. Though it affected the economy, the education, and other aspects of our daily life. But during this period, while adhering to government's guidelines, we also learned to rise from the ashes of our past. We learned how to bridge our gaps, how to turn our weaknesses into our strengths. So here is a chance for you. You can make use of these platforms. You can learn. If you have trouble, if you are struggling with this, then not to worry, there's always sources available. And I think more than enough people today have learned several things from YouTube that you did not do before. YouTube is a very big platform. It is there for your entertainment, it is there for your learning, and more people are using that platform to keep learning these days. Now, we have talked about adult education, skill enhancement, and bridging learning gaps. Let's now move on to where students, that is school going students or university students, are facing similar issues. Schools were closed, colleges were not giving classes, you had to attend the online classes, one single lecturer giving class to several batches at a time, each batch containing 60 to 70 people. Well, that was really a chaotic situation. And certainly due to these problems, learners had their learning gaps. But how do these learners overcome these? Well, then there are places like Byju's, like Lido Learning was there for a few months. So these are the online platform, and these are not limited. In fact, you will find very small and big online platforms that are there for school and college students. To enroll into that, there's a very nominal fee, not very big fee. They enroll over there, they have to give a test which helps them identify their weak spots and their strengths. If there are weak spots, they get enrolled in the course, and then they bridge their learning gaps over there. You go through the concept, you go through all your misconceptions that are cleared out. There are experts sitting who help them in understanding everything. Now, if you are going to ask the name of such platforms, then I said there are Bhanjus, there are Byju's, and there are also several new learning platforms that opened up during the pandemic period. There are learning platforms where experts from IITs, from IIMs, they're all sitting over there to guide the potential learners, to guide everyone who is going there. And even you get an opportunity to work with these people. These people not only provide you guidance, they also provide new job opportunities. They provide you with career options. They also help you in enhancing your skills. They make you ready to be employable. And if you're already employed, then they make you a better employees for organization, or even they help you in setting up your own businesses. Uh, is there something that you would like to ask about anything that we have talked so far?
Thanks, Ms. Aprajita. If you can close your whiteboard and expand your camera so that you are there on full screen.
Okay.
We have a couple of questions lined up here, and I would like to read out them to you. Most of the questions are covered. Like as the audience were posting, I was thinking that you have
Sure,
covered
sure.
most of the questions, but again, I have to read out. Can you expand your camera, please? Can you? Yeah. Right. Can you close the screen and? Yep. Can you turn on your camera? Your cam. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I have unmuted myself.
I cannot see you.
What about now? I have turned on my camera and I guess I'm unmuted as well.
Yes, proper. So the first question goes like this. Do you think online education technology platforms can provide a good school education and why?
Yes, online platforms can provide a good school education. Well, there might be some drawbacks as there are parts that you cannot do online, like doing experiments, attending practical classes. For that, you have to be present physically. It is not easy for online educators to guide you through your chemical experiments or physics experiments. But there are other subjects that can be covered beautifully because there are a lot of experts. You can have one-to-one time. You can have one-to-one time with them and they can address your each and every doubts and misconceptions individually. So yes, it can provide you with good school education. Any other question?
Yeah. So the second question goes like this. As a maths expert, teaching via online platforms, what problems you have encountered?
As a maths expert, the problems that I have encountered so far is that sometimes if the wrapper is not built very well in the beginning, then my learners are little hesitant about asking the questions. And since I'm not interacting with them in physical classroom, then am not able to look into their notebooks. As long as they're working on the whiteboard that is provided or on the slide, whichever work area I have provided for them, I can see their mistakes. But if they're working out or doing rough work in their notebook, then I'm unable to look into that. So I have to tell them time and again to please do your rough work on screen as well so that I can check if you're making any mistakes.
Right. So please describe your education and career background.
Okay. I am a graduate in chemistry, but I'm a maths expert. I know that is a clash. I graduated in 2019 with obviously honors in BSc chemistry. But I had been tutoring maths to other students since I began my graduation. That is from the first year of my graduation. And then when I got the opportunity to do the same during the pandemic, I found my employment during my pandemic time. Then I thought this is something I could do as it was already something I had been doing. And about my other educational background, then I can tell you that till standard 10th, I studied in a Holy Cross school that was a Christian convent school. And then for 11th and 12th, I opted for a government school. And obviously, I told you about my graduation.
Yeah, nice. Nice to know, Ms. Aprajita. What made you take up a teaching career?
It was not planned to be a teacher, but it gave me a satisfaction that even during my school time, there were several classmates who used to come to me with their doubts, with their problems, and I used to help them out. And looking at their final scores in the exams while they competed against me, it was very satisfying to see their progress. So that led me to tutoring other students when I started my graduation. And after graduation, it is really very satisfactory to look at my students' progress.
Nice to know. If you're not a maths teacher, what other career would you have opted for?
If I had not been a maths teacher, then still I would have been attached to education some way or the other, as it is my goal to bridge the learning gaps of the students in the rural areas, because the outreach of school is there very low. And despite different government programs, I can see whenever I visit any rural area, I can see the children running on the streets whose education are not at par with the private school students. So I would like to bridge that gap between their level of knowledge.
Nice to know. So last not but the least, um, so you think online education platforms are good for teachers' job satisfaction and career growth? Do you really believe in that?
Yes, because as it could be seen during the lockdown period, a lot of schools were closed, shut down, and a lot of students lost, a lot of teachers, sorry, lost their jobs. But this platform gave them all opportunity to make their living. They could hold their classes online and they could earn a good living. That maybe I do not know how much it affected their day-to-day life, but hopefully it did not impact their economic condition much. And yes, there are teachers that who complete their school, who after teaching 6 to 7 hours in school, they go on online platforms and then give classes. Then there are also teachers who tutor in their private time. So yes, online platform gives them a very good opportunity to cultivate their market.
Great to know. So, School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com, thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions, Ms. Aprajita. We also
Thank you.
thank the audience for participating in the event and posting the questions. I would like to end the session now. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.